Hi there, thanks for joining. If you're watching this, then you are probably ready to get to the next step with your business, get over any hurdles you may have, and really get over the hump and start producing higher profits. You want to increase those leads. You really want to take your business to the next step. And this is what we're going to discuss quickly. So these are strategies to find hidden revenue in your business that are super simple, easy to implement. And it just takes the knowledge and kind of understanding how to do the marketing correctly. So in this, we will just go over part one and give you guys as much information as I can in a small amount of time. So let's get started with marketing and advertising. Just doing it is not enough. You have to do it right. So what this is saying is it's all on what you say, how you say it, who you're saying it to, and when you're saying it. It's not just putting together a marketing campaign without a reason, without a target market, without an expected outcome. So doing it versus doing it right. Can you measure your current advertising success? Do you know how many leads are coming from where? And do your campaigns accurately capture your unique selling position? So I know there's a lot to navigate through on different options for marketing and advertising. You've got your website, social media, SEO, blogging, and etc. And the list just goes on and on. There's probably at least 20 methods of advertising. That's taking out, direct mail and other more personalized off of social media and other internet platforms. So remove this from your mind and don't think how I'm going to do it. We really need to think what we're saying, what our message is, and what we want our customers to see and hear about our business. So are you familiar with the 80-20 rule? Simply all this means is that 20% of what you're doing every day is actually what's generating 80% of your revenue. So what is that 20%? There's 5 areas that we focus on that make up that 20%. That's your leads, your conversions, your transactions, your pricing, and your profits. So we're going to take a quick look at this. So do you know the exact number of leads and sales you've made over the past 12 months? Some of us don't, and that's okay. So for this example, let's say you currently generate 1,000 leads in a year and 250 of those you actually converted. And they make 10 purchases with you for an average price of $100 per transaction. So you're looking at a revenue of $250,000, but your profit margin is only 25%. So you're bringing in $62,500. Not too bad, but we can all do better, right? And that's the goal here, is to push your business to the next level. So let's take a look at a 10% increase in each one of these areas and see what results we get. So if we focus and try to increase our leads by 10% and our conversions by 10%, transactions all across the board, if we increase that by 10%, we're nearing the 6-figure mark very easily. And this is a meager 10%. I have seen several businesses think gains of 50%, 70%. And it's all on actually taking a step back and looking at how you can do this by identifying what you're saying and how you're saying it. So let's take a look at what this looks like if we go up to 50% increase. So we're taking a 20% increase in these areas, and we're turning double what we were at current state. And 50%, we are getting closer to $500,000. So this is just very meager, minor changes in just these 5 areas. Now, there are several other strategies to implement. Take working with me, for example. This is 5 of 40 plus that I have up my sleeve, and just focus on the incremental changes. So that's one thing that really needs to resonate with you is, well, I only am doing 10 more leads last week than what I did this week. Well, if that's 100 and that's 10%, right? So that's 10% in that one area. So focus on those small changes, and then those turn into big changes, and it's the snowball effect. So we'll take a quick look at leads. So referrals are obviously an excellent lead source, but you cannot just generate referrals like that. They're not predictable. You don't know exactly when they're coming. So if you're needing additional leads, you can't rely on referrals alone. And a lot of businesses do have websites, but do we know how much it's actually generating for us? Do we know how many leads it's generating? Do we know how many of those leads actually commit? So how many sales actually come from that? So as a customer is on your site, there's actually a process that's going through in their brain. There is a conversation that they're having with themselves. So there's a problem that they have and they don't want it. And there's a result they want to have. So this is something to really consider when you are writing your advertising and marketing. How are you addressing their issue, and how is your product or service going to solve that? So if you followed a formula that takes these 2 points into account and then comes up with a message that's so powerful and compelling that it practically forces them to buy what you sell, because you are solving their problem for them in the best way, and you have the best way of addressing them. So the 5 elements that I like to teach for a great message is interrupt. So this is going to be your headline. It means it's the first thing someone sees when they visit your website, read anything, or hear you speak. So one thing that I like to use as an example here locally is Crazy Kevin Powell. Crazy Kevin Powell is a giant car salesman guru in the marketing area, because his advertising, while sometimes I think it's annoying as crap, it is very, very interrupting. Like, all my kids know the slogan, and I know the slogan, and his advertising has a way of really engaging us. So that's the second thing. That's what your prospects hear or see. It must address the result that your prospect wants but does not have. Again, interrupting. It must capture your attention. It must be engaging. So it's going to promise to facilitate a decision ahead. So, and then educating. So interrupt, engage, educate. So this is going to be your informational offer. This is going to be further way, more evidence, etc., to keep them engaged, keep reading the ad. So learning. So in the offer, then the offer comes. So you must create a compelling offer that makes it so irresistible that your product or your prospects cannot turn it down. This is not always a monetary offer. It's not the cheapest. It is based on, some folks use the unique experience as their offer here, or how much you will learn by working with them. It does not have to be a monetary response here. A lot of times it is experience-based, or an environment, or a relationship. And then finally, it must be precise and powerful. Branding must be consistent, easy to read, and worded well. So if you're consistently putting out messaging and it doesn't look the same, and it's worded like really haphazardly, and there's errors, it's inconsistent, this is something we really need to address, because you can have all the other items. You can have a total rock star advertisement as far as hitting on all the interruption, engaging, educating, and the offer phase. But if it is a hot mess, it's really going to turn your clients away. So why it's so important? Businesses must differentiate themselves from their competitors. A lot of times businesses aren't different, and they provide the same product and service, but we have to dig deep and find, what is your dominant position in the market? How is your experience any different than your competitors? How can you get a client first? So you must make your business unique. It must stand out from the crowd. You must make your prospects say to themselves that they would be idiots to buy from anyone else but you, regardless of the price. And that's the kicker. If you are putting out products and services that are top notch, and there's an experience that you have, or a or an offer or a promise or something that you have that a customer is not going to get from someone else, they're still going to be compelled to purchase from you because of that interaction. And whether that's customer loyalty or whatever programs you're running, this is something that is key. You must create a compelling offer that makes it so irresistible your prospects cannot turn it down. So tying this all together, so what does this mean? You've said a lot, Nikki, so how do I do this? So one thing to consider, when you're marketing, a lot of customers are not ready to buy now. A lot of customers are hearing this for the first time, or especially if you're introducing a new product or a new service, it takes anywhere on average from 20 to 100 touch points for a prospect to actually make a buying decision. However, if you follow the conversion equation and you're hitting on all of those emotional points and you're engaging and you're educating, that is reduced from 5 to 12 points of contact. So, second item here, knowing that most businesses don't follow up with their prospects at all, this provides a huge opportunity for any businesses that do follow up and position themselves as the dominant force in the industry. So this is very important. This is stuff that you can automate. You can have email marketing that is built into a lot of other website platforms. And it's just that follow-up and keeping your product and service in front of them and you're fostering and nurturing that relationship until they're converted into your client, your customer. However, in order to do that, you must find a way to collect their current information. And that's the purpose of your offer. So some examples here, perhaps you offer a free report regarding your services that prompts for email collection, or perhaps you present an introductory offer, but an email is required. So there's a lot of ways that you can do this and capture emails. So just like this presentation, the email's required before you get this free learning. And this is a resource that other businesses spend hundreds of dollars just for the first part on. So it's something really to consider. There's a lot of room to make decisions here to make your business work for you, and use your marketing as one of the strongest tools you have. Communicate effectively, timely. So it must be consistent. Guys, it's very simple, but yet you really have to take a step back and actually look at it and measure how you're doing on this. And if anyone's interested, I have a marketing score quiz on the site. So after this last slide, you can access that and kind of see how your marketing rates on this scale as far as interrupting and engaging. And it's a self-evaluation, but it guides you along the way to make those decisions. And you can do that for each advertising campaign you have. I like to do it quarterly. So I like to check to see how I'm going. And if the market's changing, if I need to address a change in the way I'm saying something, or if I need to target a different audience. This is something that we all must do to keep our businesses both alive and on the top. And I am happy to share more information with you guys. The rest of this journey is in the business development workshop. It's about an hour and a half course. It goes through implementing all 5 of these strategies. And instead of just the one part we went over today, it's 4 parts. And I really think you guys will get a lot of benefit out of it. You can also like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for any updates, any other free courses, or any workshops that we're having, either virtual or in person. And you can also join the Facebook group for more freebies, tips, and tricks, and free networking. So that group is growing, and we have a lot of interaction. I share a lot of things with you guys there. And anything you need, that's the best way to get a question answered quickly is through that Facebook group. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in our learning environment and on our Facebook page. Have a good day, guys.